there's only one black girl.
Donyale Luna was one of the top black models that ever appeared on the magazine cover in the world. She will deal part of this legacy of opening the door for other black and brown models. Naomi Campbell, to Tara Banks. I couldn't name them all.
Fashion industry, early 1960s. You could be beautiful, talented, know everything there was to know about fashion, didn't matter. If your skin was a bit darker, you had no chance. That was just it. The fashion industry had built its definition of beauty around a single look, and a lot of the time, people didn't even hide why. Your skin just didn't fit. This wasn't a one-off thing. It happened over and over across the whole industry. A few black models got work, mostly in smaller magazines or overseas. But mainstream high fashion, doors stayed shut. Talent wasn't enough. You were going up against an entire industry that had already decided who belonged in front of the camera. But there was a bridge. One person built it, carrying every doubt, every no, every closed door with her. Her name was Donyale Luna. Before Donyale Luna became a symbol of change, she was just a young woman from Detroit with a face the fashion world had never seen before.
And one day, a photographer by the name of David McCabe came to Detroit, and he saw me and he thought I was so fantastic, and he says, "You must be a model," and I says, "No, I'm not." And he said, "Well, here's my card. If you ever come to New York, please look me up." 5 minutes later, he ran back to me and he says, "You've got to come to New York. You've got to do this and that."
He looked you up.
In 1966, she became the first black woman on the cover of British Vogue. That cover cracked open a system that had spent decades deciding, on its own, who got to represent beauty. There's a harder part of her story, too, the question of who she was. As her career took off, she started reshaping her own history, sometimes changing where she said she was from, sometimes describing herself as only partly black. It's messy, but it says something true about that era. Being black could shut every door, while being exotic could open one, if you played along. Her relationship with race wasn't simple, and neither was people's relationship with her. Some black audiences pushed back on how she distanced herself from her background. The fashion world, meanwhile, loved to call her rare and exotic, anything but what she actually was, a black woman breaking down a wall built specifically to keep her out. She became a doorway. One of the first women to prove high fashion's one definition of beauty was never the only option. She made space where there was almost none, space generations of black models have walked through since. Her story didn't end with her. The door she pushed open became a path other black models kept walking through. For decades, fashion treated black beauty like an outlier, something outside real elegance, outside luxury. Pioneers like Luna proved that wrong. Beauty was never limited to one skin tone or one look the industry got to define alone. After her, more black women broke through. Naomi Sims, Beverly Johnson, and others, each one pushing further, demanding to be treated as essential to fashion, not a token inside it. None of it came easy. Every cover, every runway, every campaign with a black model behind it came after a history of rejection and pushback. Luna's legacy isn't just first black woman on British Vogue. It's that she made the entire industry question who got to decide what beauty looked like. Fashion didn't change overnight. Someone had to be first to prove it could change. Donyale Luna was one of those people. The strangest part of this whole story is that it was a story at all. Skin color is just human variation, and for decades it decided who got opportunity, who got called beautiful, who got seen. Talent got filtered through race before it ever got judged on skill or creativity. Turns out beauty was never the problem. The standards were, and long before luxury brands started looking to black culture for inspiration, Black culture already had centuries of craftsmanship behind it. Textiles, beadwork, weaving, tailoring, jewelry, ceremonial dress. Black culture never lacked fashion. It had its own traditions the whole time, each one carrying its own history and identity. Now, Black designers, artists, and models aren't asking to be let in. They're helping redefine the whole thing. It's not about swapping one standard for another. It's recognizing creativity was never owned by one race or culture to begin with. The industry's better every time it actually reflects the world it claims to represent.